Let's go. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Onyinye Anike, and she is a transformation life and business coach, YB12 performance consultant, speaker, and a #1 international best-selling author. And, she's a great podcast guest. I'm super excited to be able to have this conversation and to have her on the show. Thank you so much, O.
Thank you for having me, Bryce.
I'm gonna have to. Is there like a nickname that you go by that I can call you?
Oni.
Oni. Okay. Cool. So, and before we go any further, for those watching, if you're watching this from any location that is outside of our free community, I just want to personally invite you inside. It's taken a very, very long time to foster such a positive group of people who want to see you succeed. So if that's what you've been missing, come and join us by clicking the link either above or below this video. Now, Onye, what was life like before you got into coaching? What was the catalyst that brought you into the space?
Oh, beautiful question. So the honest catalyst that brought me into this space was I was pregnant with my son, and I kind of got into a place where I was done with the 9 to 5. I wanted to have the freedom to be my own boss, number one. But number two, I knew that I wanted to impact lives in a greater way. And I knew that coaching was a way for me to utilize my gifts and my strengths and my experiences to do that for somebody. Prior to making that decision, I already was currently on a transformational journey. A couple years back, I was diagnosed with leukemia, cancer, and that already started and awakened for me the want and the urge and the need to live my life's calling and purpose. And through that journey, eventually, I guess my son's being born, having my son kind of also ramped that up. And so I made the decision then and there, like, I'm done the 9 to 5. This is what I've been called to do and how I'm called to serve in a greater way. And so that's how coaching came about.
Excellent. Now let me ask you this question. So what problem are people generally trying to solve when they come to work with you nowadays?
Nowadays, because it does change a little bit, but right now, the problem people come to me for is if they are struggling with lead generation and just starting their business. So a lot of the clients I work with, female Christian coaches and consultants, they're new. They're also coming into their calling and realizing that they want to become coaches or consultants. And so I help them get clear on who it is they serve, what problem they solve, and then help them build their business, like getting their content, their messaging clear, creating their offer, and then helping them generate leads consistently so that they can, grow their business and serve and impact lives like they want to.
Nice. Let me ask you this question. So I think you were talking before, like following your calling, because you're saying, there was urging and then you finally had the catalyst. Maybe for those watching, maybe they might have a calling that they feel, but maybe they're scared because they don't really understand how to identify what their true calling or their next steps are. Maybe can you talk to how they can start getting that awareness?
Yeah. So I think you said it perfectly. Awareness is the first piece. So you feel it, it's there. But I 100% relate to that fear of taking that plunge and taking that next step because it is scary. You don't know what to anticipate. You don't know what's coming. And our brain is always trying to protect us and keep us from that. But if that calling is strong enough, I think if you're logical a little bit like I am, you can plan, right? You can only plan so much, but at least you have a plan in place. So when I knew I was going to go into coaching, I didn't immediately quit my 9 to 5. I put some things into place. I knew I had some savings. I did a lot of research into like what coaching entails, when I got my certification, and just started slowly taking on clients so that I could build up my confidence and just my knowledge base on what coaching was and make sure that I could actually help people in this way. So I think you can do some like really tangible things, actions you can take to prepare yourself, right? But there's always going to be a little bit of that fear because it's still the unknown. And I think it's just really aligning with your vision, because your vision, if it's really powerful and it's really grounded and centered, it's going to pull you. It's going to pull you past the uncomfort, past the fear into what you truly want. And so just being able and okay knowing that there's going to be parts of it and pieces of it that you can never predict or know, but that's okay. You just have to trust that it will all turn out right, and that if you do get stuck, get support, right? You're never alone. I think when we go into the entrepreneur piece, at least, we think that we have to do it all by ourselves. But I think it's so important to reach out, see if there's people who've been where you are, people who are where you want to be, and start to get that support. Reach out, ask questions, and take that next leap.
Yes. Let me ask you this question. So, I think we touched a little bit before we started, filming, but can you tell us about some of the cool things that you have going on? Maybe share with us what that looks like.
Yeah, sure. So actually right now, I am doing a masterclass to help I have a group learn how to create offers, because I think that's an area that a lot of people struggle with, is how to create an offer that's compelling, that speaks to your ideal client avatar's needs, and can have them know that you are the person who can solve their problem. Because ultimately, clients are the lifeblood of our business, and you have to be able to communicate and articulate what you do in a way that they can understand, and they can know, like, and trust you to feel comfortable buying from you and purchasing your services. So that's what I'm doing right now. But evergreen, I have a client now accelerator where I actually teach all of this to my clients, to help them really get their business off the ground and to consistently generate leads, and to build their business so that it is profitable and thriving, and they're making the impact and the income that they desire.
Nice. Where do people maybe go to learn more about you? Where can they go to connect with you further?
Yeah, sure. So you can learn more about me at my website is www.onyinye.com. I'm going to assume you're going to have the down there because I can spell it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't be able to to write it. So you can look for me there, or at my my Instagram handle, Onyinye C Anike, as well. There's a lot of freebies I have just to get you started.
Nice. Let me ask you this question. Well, actually, before we go any further, for those watching, we thoroughly hope that you find this valuable so far. Once again, please come and join us and watch this inside of our community, okay? It's a mastermind, and just like she was saying, sometimes we have to get people around us, whether a little bit further ahead or who can just support us in our goals, especially in these times we're in where it's kind of, maybe we don't have the best support system because you're trapped inside your family and maybe they don't believe in your visionary goals. So if that's you, come ahead and click on the link either above or below and join us inside the community right now. That brings up a good point. So right now, some people are either in quarantine or they're leaving it or they're going back in. Maybe what's been one of your biggest takeaways from the quarantine time?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question, because I've been kind of, I don't call it isolated, but it has been isolating because I'm from New York originally, and we moved to Phoenix, Arizona about 2.5 years ago. So I didn't have really a lot of support, and I have two little ones. I have a 1-year-old and a just turned 4-year-old, and so for me, my biggest takeaway has been really being able to be flexible, and to ask for support when I can and where I can, especially because most of my family's on the other coast and we can't travel right now. Everyone's, kind of stuck where they're at. So it's really about giving myself grace. I've learned to give myself a lot more grace, to be more flexible and to really prioritize, which is my kids, with my business, and learning how to adjust to kind of what this norm is right now for us. And being a lot more disciplined. I've had to learn to be a lot more disciplined because it's very easy being quarantined and being home all the time to just be like, I don't care, I just want to sleep all day, even though that's not possible.
Yeah, maybe let me ask this question. It's a kind of, part of being able to kind of reflect and just be with ourselves, comes vision. Maybe what's the vision look like for you for as far down the road as you like to think or talk about?
Yeah. So my vision for myself is, and I've always been someone who's very big about service, and giving back. And so my vision is to impact 1 million people. And as we're talking, you were like, 1 million is not many. And now I'm even rethinking it and going 1 billion people. I think there's such a need right now in the world. There's so much pain and hurt and anxiety and frustration and confusion in the world. And I want to help bring light to the world, impact people, give them a message of hope and love. I'm a Christian, and as a person of God, I'm a very big believer that, we each can take a little bit of time to really change even if it's one life, because there's a trickle effect there. And it can really change the perspective and what's going on in our world right now, for the better. So my goal is touch 1 billion people however I can, and in whichever way I can do that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, especially because you have a long career ahead of you, right? I mean,
Yes.
especially when we're in this coaching, like if we really want to, we can just keep doing it till we're like 7. Like I think one guy's name is like Bob Proctor. He's like, I think he's like 80 something.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it snowballs and stuff. So I mean, you're gonna help out a lot of people. Let me ask this question. So part of like visions and goals, are like milestones, right? And
Mhm.
traditionally, whenever you hit a milestone, they would call it success or not a success. Maybe, over time for me, the definition of success has changed. Maybe what is your working definition of success right now?
I love it. And I think for me, it's hitting a goal and getting to it right now at this point. And it doesn't have to be some grandiose thing either, because at first that was my idea of success is I got to do this big thing and that makes me successful. But I think even every day I'm honestly say I'm successful, that I made it, like I came out of bed. Got consistently focused on what my day-to-day action plan and goals were. I set mini goals for myself, and that's success.
Mm.
Because I need to give myself the ability to see that. It means I'm taking one step at a time, even closer to my ultimate bigger goal, right? My ultimate bigger vision. And so success is just setting a goal and meeting it.
Nice. And once more, where can people go to? Actually, why don't you spell out your name so if someone
Yes,
goes and like and
I
Google's you?
will. I will. So to find me, you can go to www.onyyecanike.com. That's Onyinye, Anike.com.
That's a cool name. It has like alliteration to it, and it like rhymes. It's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a name you say on like a stage or something. That's cool.
Yeah.
And just for those watching, we thoroughly hope that you found this valuable. Once again, join our community. Feel free to hit the share button so other people can get some great value out of this. Hopefully, you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed creating it. We will see you in the next episode. My name is Bryce Tubbs. Have a great day. We're done recording in 3, and 2, and 1, and